All right, welcome to episode 1, season 3 of the Prof and Shively Next Play podcast. Matt, we're back. It's been a few months.
It's been a few months. I'm ready to watch some sports, ready to talk some Justice University athletics, and preview the fall season.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Lots of changes, which is always a good thing, I think, at least, especially for a young university. You're going to have things moving parts all the time, so excited about that. But we're going to start off with a bang with a program that's just exploded over the last few months. We've got Coach Levi with us from Justice Men's Soccer. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're excited to – I know you coached last year, so you're not new to the program, but you've made a lot of changes over the last few months with recruiting and things like that. How did you even get involved in coaching? Like what's –
Yeah, it definitely wasn't something where I was hopping on Indeed and applying for coaching jobs. It really wasn't what I wanted to do in the beginning. I actually had a window cleaning business up in North Dakota that I was planning on going back and doing after I graduated from GCU. But really how I got into the soccer world, I was always playing ball. Grew up in Ghana, West Africa, played academy over there. And then came to the U.S., played in high school for my senior year, and then played a year of college, and then came down to GCU, and then that's where I started working for the GCU soccer coaches. So I worked for George and for Coach Danny, for Coach AJ, and for Coach Leo. And then while I was there, I was like, well, let me take you guys back to Ghana and I can run some ID camps for you guys. And so they're like, yeah, absolutely. So I started the Kwami Bofoh Foundation. The name is Kwami Bofoh because I grew up doing Instagram and social media comedy, and then decided to use that following to help West African, mainly Ghanaian athletes pursue their dreams and pursue their career of playing soccer at a higher level. So the foundation turned into a rather large recruiting organization. And then that's how Dr. Palmer found out about me, actually through a mutual friend. And he heard about what I was doing. So he called me and said, can I come by to campus and take a look at what he's doing here? And so I came by, looked at the team. He told me he wanted to recruit some players. And then he also told me, would you ever be interested in coming in and coaching? And I thought about it, and I was like, well, yeah, why not? I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, I just go back to doing what I was doing. Came in, and in the first week of practice, the head coach then got a job offer to go to Texas. So he left to Texas, and then all of a sudden, like I said, the coaching job was just kind of thrown into my lap. It wasn't something that I went out and applied for. It was something that kind of just was put into my lap. But everything happens for a reason, and so yeah, that's how we're here today.
It's amazing, man. And watching you through the spring, you were on fire trying to get more guys here, use your connections to Ghana, use your connections around the valley through GCU. And you've all of a sudden got like enough for multiple teams, a varsity and a junior varsity basically now. So tell me a little bit about your spring in a nutshell. Like how'd you get all those players here?
Yeah. So when I first started recruiting in the middle of fall, I started to realize, I was like, you know what, we could have a really good team for the spring. We were getting players that were interested, and I was saying to myself, man, we've got some numbers here. One, my center back from my foundation in Ghana, so from the recruiting organization I ran there, the ID camp I put on, the best center back there. He got his visa in November. So in November, he got his visa to come to the U.S. And when he got his visa, that was a big confidence boost because I knew I was getting basically high Division I talent at the center back position, right? I knew I was getting a player that should be playing Division I, but I got lucky to have him part of our program. So that gave me a big confidence boost. The other two major signings was Amos and Elijah. So we played against Noble University, and they had two Ghanaians there. Amos was a Division I transfer. He went to St. Mary's. He got injured. He had to drop down so that he could find his footing and go back up to that level. But Noble didn't offer that for him, nor did they offer it for Elijah. So their program actually shut down in the spring, and they don't have a soccer program anymore. So talked to them, and then they were able to come over here. And then we just brought in more pieces like that. I think Broka Achoka, he's from New Jersey. He had a very good spring season. But I think the point of the spring season when I knew, hey, this is a really good team that we had was when we played Park University. They beat us 7-1 in the fall, the first game. And then in the spring, we beat them 1-0. So that's a 7-point differential. And we got 7 points better over the offseason. When we also played GCU, We lost to GCU 7-0 in the fall, and then when we played them in the spring, we only lost to them 3-0. And a loss is a loss. I wasn't happy about a loss, but a 3-0 loss to the 16th best Division I team in the nation, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. In the spring, we had a very, very good team. I think our starting 11 was very solid. Obviously, we were able to beat the teams that had beaten us in the fall, but where we kind of lacked was depth. We had a strong starting 11, but we kind of struggled a little bit with the depth. If we had an injury or whatever, we could have been put into a tough position. But now I think this fall coming through, like you said, we're going to be really deep. We've got enough players for basically 3 teams, and we'll have a varsity, and then we'll definitely have a second team, and maybe we'll do a third team, but we'll definitely have a varsity and JV squad.
Yeah, and that helps a lot with your depth, because throughout the course of a season, we know this, injuries happen, things happen. These are young adults. These are college athletes. Things pop up with them, right? So you want to be deep. You don't want to be, in trouble with your depth when you get deep into a season, when those injuries can add up.
And one thing that has really helped us with injuries is Darcy's lifting program. So in the fall, we didn't lift at all. And we also didn't have a single game where everyone was healthy. Every single game we had injuries happening. And in the spring, they were lifting every day, Monday through Thursday with Darcy, and we didn't have one injury. Knock on wood, we didn't have a single injury. And I think it's just when you put a little bit of lean muscle around their bones and you activate, and create healthy muscle, it's probably the best injury prevention that you can do. You don't have to go do recovery stuff. The best way is just to hop in the gym, start doing some squats, start pushing some sled, and start lifting some weights and creating some muscle.
That's great, man.
Yep.
So you obviously lost a few key pieces last year, some Justice legends, right? So including an All-American, if I'm not mistaken, in Yahir.
Yeah, well, actually, Justice University's first All-American.
First All-American. So when you're out recruiting, I'm just curious to ask, do you look to fill those positions, or do you just look for the best players available?
Really, when trying to, build up the program, it's really just been best player available. And it's kind of been funny about how it all worked, because in the springtime, all the best player available, majority of my players came in as defenders, brought in a lot of defenders, and that's kind of where, out of all the best player available, it kind of just turned out to be that way. And this fall, it's really just been forwards and attackers and midfielders. So I just take best player available when trying to build the program. Ideally, if you can, go through it the tactical way, you kind of go center back, center mid, center forward is the first 3 you take. You kind of go up the line in the middle and then work your way outward. But for this program, it's really just been about going and finding the best player available.
What do you, how would you characterize your team this year in terms of like their attitude, what qualities do they possess that maybe we could look for on the field, or that people should know you for?
I think a really exciting culture. The kids that we have are really, really excited for this season, excited for the program. They love Justice University. That's the biggest thing, is they're really happy to be here because what the university is offering them. So I think you're going to see an exciting culture, and especially when you have a winning team, culture just gets all that much better. When you're losing a lot, then it tends to be everyone blames everything else but themselves. It can be blaming the quality of the field, or blaming the size of the school, or blaming the weight room facilities, or whatever. But when you have a winning team, all of a sudden everyone takes pride in the field, everyone takes pride in the weight room, everyone takes pride in the facilities that we have, and everyone takes pride in the whole school. So I think when you create a winning team, everything just gets all that much better.
Yeah, it rolls downhill from there for sure. And so we talking about the season forthcoming, right? And I know Jason and I have talked about in previous seasons, our natural rival that has revealed itself over our first 5 years in athletics is Nelson.
Right.
And I know that's true with the soccer team as well.
Yep.
Some of these guys, they've grown up playing with the guys over at Nelson and club and stuff like that. So what is Nelson your circled, your highlighted match on the schedule? Probably all of them are, but what would be some highlighted matches for you?
I mean, Nelson for sure, right? They're what Dr. Palmer says, the crosstown rivals. But what's interesting about Nelson is that we tied them once last season. We tied them once 4-4, and then we lost the other one to them 4-1. When we lost them was the game where we didn't have Yahir. But when we had Yahir, that's when we tied them. But Nelson went on to nationals, and they went on to top 3 or 4 in the nation. I have to double check on that. but they finished top 3 or 4 in the nation, and we finished, I think 38th out of 39 teams. So if we tied the top 5 team in the nation with the roster that we had in the fall, I mean, I think it's going to be kind of. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm crunching the numbers. Everything is pointing towards that we can come out on top. Not only are we looking at just beating Nelson, but I'm looking at, well, I think we can go to nationals. I think we can make a great run there. Yep.
But don't give them any bulletin board material over there in Nelson. You don't want to say, oh yeah, we're going to beat them, but at the same time, you got to be confident, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm confident in the team that we have. I'm confident in the players that we have, and I think looking at Benedictine as well, they beat us 10-0 last fall, double digits, and then we lost them 3-1 this spring, so we got better. But I think we play them home opener. That's going to be a big one, though. First game at home, August 22nd. I think that's a huge one probably the biggest one that I've got circled, just because that's going to be a really, really exciting game, and that kind of tells you a lot about where the program is in comparison to last year.
Yeah, speaking of first home game, you have a few home games this season. So if the Justice faithful, what did we end up with last year? The Lions Den. Mm-hmm. If the Lions Den is coming out to see you,
I pitched Justice League, and nobody went with that. I thought that was such a great name for our
I like that one.
I think it might have been used before. I'm not sure where that's at.
Everything's borrowed.
Plus, it's a Christian university, Daniel Lions Den. Come on, you got to go with that. So anyway, so with the Lions Den comes out, the faithful, what can they expect to see out of your team?
I think these guys they're really vocal. They love. They're a very vocal team. So when they see us come out walking onto the field, I think they can expect to probably hear players singing. They're very vocal. They love singing. They love making noise. And I think you'll see this fall is the chant that we have, the Hibalibi chant, and I think you're going to see that too. We did that in the springtime. It sets the tone for every match, and it's going to be kind of our thing for our team. It's going to be our Hibalibi chant before the game. The New Zealand All Blacks for the rugby team, they have the haka, and we've got the Hibalibi chant.
I was just about to say, is that your version of the haka? But
it is.
You got there before me. So.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing it, man. And I know you and I were chatting, and you were highlighting kind of in every position who you're excited to see out there. And for me, character is a big part of building a team. Mm-hmm. Having high character guys, not just talented athletes, but guys that can lead, and even their faith be a big piece of how they lead. How do you see that on your team?
Yeah, 100%. We want leaders. I don't want crash out players that cause problems on the field for us. I need players that lift up the other players and support the other players even when they're down. I need players that are leaders, and like I said, I don't want crash out players. I don't want players that yell at refs. I don't want players that yell at each other. I want players that are high quality leaders that say the right things and are supportive and motivating, and then good members off the field as well. Players that aren't getting in trouble for things that you're not supposed to do here at Justice University. Guys that represent both the team on and off the field. So that's very important.
So first home game, August 22nd. Mm-hmm. Time to get out here, even though it's hot.
Yep.
Bring an umbrella, right? Bring a little mister with you.
Right.
But come on out and support the Justice University men's soccer program. Mm-hmm. I'd be remiss this year that we hosted the World Cup if I didn't ask your thoughts on the World Cup too while you're here.
Well, it's interesting. So Ghana played I thought they played some good games there. The first game that they played was their only win. That was against Panama. And with 10 minutes to go, they subbed in Brandon Thomas Asante, who I played academy ball with back in Ghana. And in 10 minutes, he went off and he gave an assist to score. And that was the game-winning goal for Ghana. And the rest of the World Cup, they didn't play him a single time again. So I was quite disappointed in the Ghana coaching staff that they didn't play Brandon again. And so I guess now this is my road and my journey to becoming the next Ghana Black Stars head coach, and hopefully one day coach at the World Cup. And if you want to watch our games this season and it's too hot for you to go out to our game on August 22nd at 4:30 p.m., well, what's even more exciting is that we have a documentary that's going behind the scenes of the entire team. So you're going to be able to watch it from your couch and be able to see the behind the scenes of all these players' lives. It gives them the chance to share a little bit about their story, share who they are, share their journey. And then you're able to see kind of what goes behind, what goes on behind the scenes of our practices, our team meetings, our preseason, our road trips, our games. And I think, there's never been a documentary done on a college soccer program. So this is going to be the first one ever done. And this is, I think we're gonna do something really, really great. And it shows you how confident I am in our season as well. Because if I thought that we had a team anything close to last season, I would not be bringing a documentary team to be videoing our team. In fact, I'd probably be telling every fan to keep their phone at home and not bring their phones. Aren't allowed at the stadium.
Well, we're excited to be there. We're going to do our best, as with all sports, to bring. Our goal is all the games to everybody through the YouTube channel, but we're going to do our best to be out there, and equipment permitting, we're going to make sure the fans can see it at home. Don't
worry, me and Joe will make that happen for you guys.
Absolutely. You have anything else, Matt, for Coach Levi?
Well, last year we mentioned this in passing. You're like, I'm the youngest coach probably in the nation coaching college. Right. Now you're not even the youngest in the soccer program at Justice.
Right, yeah.
Right, so we've got a really young coaching staff in all sports at Justice. But I think that's really exciting. That means the future is bright, and you guys can grow up. And I think, my encouragement to you, keep being teachable too, as a coach,
100%,
and lead from that humility. Right. But you're a dreamer, and we can't wait to see those dreams become reality.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. I think Justice University started to see that maybe hiring the young coaches instead of the old heads, sometimes it works now, and giving them the chance. I think women's soccer, I think they're going to have a really bright season. Yep. Yeah.
Well, amazing. Thanks for being with us again, Levi. We wish you nothing but the best this season, and we'll see you on the sideline.
Perfect.
That was a great conversation with Coach Levi Corum of Justice University Men's Soccer. We're super excited to bring that to you. First game again, August 22nd, I believe 4:30 p.m. is the kickoff there. So hope you can join us there. For now, thank you for tuning in to the Next Play podcast, episode 1 of season 3. For Matt Shively, I am Prof G, Jason Geroux, and we will see you next time.
Peace.